Is Israel oppressing Christians? Are American Christians responsible for suffering in Gaza? That's what Munther Isaac would have you believe. Isaac is a pastor and director of the notorious Christ at the Checkpoint conferences, which proclaim anti-Israel libels and blatant anti-Semitism under the guise of Christian love, justice and peace. As part of his assault on support for Israel, Tucker Carlson provided Isaac with a platform to spread his lies to a massive audience. While the interview was broadcast in April 2024, the same old lies are still being told today, and they're as dangerous as ever.
People keep leaving because of the political reality. Life under a very harsh Israeli military occupation is difficult to bear, and as a result, many young Palestinian Christians continue to leave, for example, Bethlehem.
It's not because of Israel that Christians are leaving the West Bank. It's because of attacks and persecution by their Palestinian neighbours and the Palestinian Authority. The Bethlehem area is controlled by the Palestinian Authority. Its Christian population has dropped from 86% in 1950 to around 10% as of 2017. Meanwhile, as the Christian population in the rest of the Middle East plummets, Israel's Christian community is growing.
So you have people in the United States, self-professed Christians, who are sending money to oppress Christians in the Middle East.
That's the sad irony in all of this, is that a lot of the money that comes from churches, even before the war, goes not just to the Israeli military, but to the building of settlements. Many of these settlements are built on land confiscated from Palestinians, and in many cases from Palestinian Christian families.
What is he even talking about? Isaac provides no evidence for this wild accusation. And Carlson, who's supposed to be the journalist in this exchange, doesn't even question the incendiary charge.
To me, Christians should be for peace. I wish you were investing all of this energy and money in initiatives that bring peace, not continuing to support Israel unconditionally without holding them accountable, which is, in my opinion, what drove us to this mess right now, with the catastrophe of thousands of Palestinians killed and October 7 and all of that.
It's grotesque to blame Christian support for Israel for the October 7th attacks. Hamas and other Palestinian terrorists, funded by Iran, invaded Israel and committed the largest massacre of Jews since the Holocaust. Hamas is a genocidal terrorist group whose aim is the annihilation of Israel. And in Palestinian society, children are raised to aspire to martyrdom in the fight against Israel. The root of the conflict lies in Palestinian leaders' refusal to accept the existence of a Jewish state within any borders, not Christian support for the world's only Jewish state and the only democracy in the Middle East.
The biggest problem is starvation. They're literally starving.
Isaac isn't alone here. This has been a staple of the propaganda machine for well over a year. There was no famine then, and there is no famine now. Such claims are based on lazy journalism, bad data and skewed statistics, as the Free Press reported. There's no doubt that food insecurity has been a big problem for many Gazans, but it's not because Israel doesn't let food in. Since the beginning of the war, until July 1st, 2025, Israel has delivered more than 1.4 million tons of food aid to Gaza. The problem is Hamas sealing the aid meant for its own people. Here's how Isaac responds when Carlson asks how free Christians are to practice their religion in Israel.
Evangelicals as churches are not officially recognized in Israel by the government of Israel. Evangelism is illegal in Israel.
This is nonsense. There are no restrictions on worship in Israel. Evangelism or proselytizing is legal. The law only prohibits converting minors without their parents' consent, as well as conversion in exchange for material benefit. This applies to all religions, not just Christianity.
The biggest problem Christians are facing is in East Jerusalem, where they are constantly targeted by radical groups, radical Jewish groups, let's be clear. Sometimes some churches, there was an attempt to burn them. Oftentimes, and this is, you can look at it on social media all over the place, Christian clergy being spit at by these groups. They write very offensive slogans on the wall. There is strong incitements against Christians, especially in the old city of Jerusalem. It seems that those who do these attacks are never held accountable.
False. Israeli authorities absolutely take attacks on Christians and Christian sites seriously.
A friend of mine did the research and counted more than 30 churches that were closed when Israel was created because Palestinians were expelled from the land.
Who is this friend? Where can his research be found? Isaac doesn't say, but it's worth noting that the vast majority of Palestinian Arab refugees in 1948 were not expelled, but fled of their own accord, often at the urging of their leaders. This is just scratching the surface of Munther Isaac's false propaganda. He knows exactly what he's doing. Does Tucker Carlson?